Hi, and good evening to you. I'm so excited to welcome you to yet another video tutorial on the USOILSPOT, as we were able to scoop over 1,000 pips on the previous analysis we did on this pair, as we took advantage of this bearish momentum we saw throughout the course of last week's trading session into that area around the $70 level. Now let's quickly run through how last week went by so that we can actually have an insight into the key moments that we had. So talking about last week trading session, we saw this whole situation at the beginning of the week where price action was trapped within a range, and we were looking out for price action to either break out or break down of that channel. But for the fact that we had a bearish gap at the beginning of the week, it was a sign that there was a lot of bearish transaction by major key players in the market during the course of the weekend, giving us a clue into the potentials of the sellers in this market. So with our sell stop order below the $75.75 level, we had our first sell position for the week, though we saw price action went into a choppy situation during the second day of the week, but we were still we had some buyers as regard the bullish potentials in the market, but at the end of the day, it was the sellers all the way as price action continued to drop to the downside. And as you can see, we kept on adding more position to key structures that was broken to the downside to further maximize the profit on this commodity. So you can see how it all went by for us during the course of last week. And then not until the last trading day of the week, that was on Friday, just prior to the NFP, we begin to see some choppy situation happen, and this later led into price action finding higher lows in the market, giving us an insight into the potentials of the buyers in this market. Then we saw the breakout of the neckline of that potential reversal pattern we identified during our YouTube morning live session on Friday morning, and we decided we are going to be buying the US oil. And following the NFP data that day, we saw our price action continue to climb to the upside, giving us another 400 pips move as we saw price action hit our TP target at the $71.50 level. So it was quite a profitable week for us on the USOILSPOT. If you do want to go through the highlights on your own, I will be dropping the link to this commentary in the description box of this current video. And for those who are watching from my YouTube channel, you will be seeing it at the top right hand side of your screen. So with that being said, here let's dive right into the main charts, and the first thing we are going to be doing is to have an holistic view of what is really going on in this market. And obviously you will see that price action has been kept within a range since the month of November. As you can see, we have the support line of the range around the $82 area, and then we have the resistant line at the $82, and then we have the support line of this channel at the $70 area, which appeared to have been broken a little bit during the course of last week's trading session. Then we begin to see some buy pressure resume around that support line. So I will be zooming right into the current structure here, and I want to be considering the price action activity since the month of March. So we saw this impulsive move started during the mid-month of March, bringing price into that trend line at the $82 area. And then this old bearish momentum that started mid-April was seen as more of a retracement of that impulsive move that started in the month of March. So we saw a situation here where price action appeared to have tested the 78.6% retracement of that impulse leg. At this point in time, we are at a critical level where price action is currently oscillating around a very important level when it comes to the Fibonacci retracement tool, that is the 78.6%. And we can see here that as soon as price action got into that $68 area, we begin to see some buy pressure resume around that area later into in later into the New York session, especially after the NFP data, which came in very, very positive. And from a fundamental aspect, strong job growth is often a plus for oil, whose consumption depends on people's mobility and economic vibrancy. So in this kind of situation, will this be a sign that the oil prices will grow in the coming week? That is, if we continue to see buy pressure resume within this area, which I have identified as a potential demand zone, then we might likely see another surge in price to the upside. These are all from a technical standpoint. Then another situation that could happen here is if price action gets into the structure here, which happens to be a trend line, which supported bullish momentum at one point in time in this market. So you can see this clearly here. So we want to see how price action will be reacting to that structure. Remember last week we saw the breakdown of the level here, the second time in about a couple of months now. And from a technical standpoint, when price action breaks out a key structure, there is a likelihood that price will come back and do a retest of that structure to incite a sell-off in this market. So these are one of the things we are going to be looking forward to as well. And if it so happens price breaks out of that level, then we look out for more opportunities to buy. Now that is one scenario when it comes to looking out for buying opportunity just right around or above the $70 area. Now the other situation that could happen is we could see selling pressure resume one more time to break out of the structure. This is another thing we are going to be looking at, but we won't be able to see things more clearly at this point. So in that regard, we shall be scaling down into a much more lower time frame to identify the potentials of the buyers and the sellers from this current market structure. So scaling down into the 4 hours time frame, I was able to identify a simple setup that I think we can use to guide our trading activity for the week, and this is what I was able to spool out from the 4 hours time frame. So the first thing I did here was to acknowledge the $72 mark area, which happens to be a major determinant of price action since the month of March. As you can see here, this level had been a very significant level where price action had found buy momentum at one point and selling momentum at one point in time during the course of the space of the last couple of months. Now we saw the breakout of that structure here in the month of March. We saw the breakout. We saw price action break down that structure here during the course of last week's trading session, and as you can see here, the week closed at around just right around or below the $72 area during the course of last week. So at this point in time, we are at a critical point where price action could either break out of that structure for bullish momentum or even respect that level, doing a retest of the structure that was broken to incite a sell-off in this market. Then in addition to the $72 area is the fact that price action has been bearish since the first week of the month of April. And to further emphasize that is this descending channel you can see on your screen right now, right after connecting the series of lower lows and lower highs. We have this descending channel you can see on your screen, which further emphasizes the strength of the sellers in this point at this point. Now with this whole structure here, if we zoom right into the current structure, this is the $70 area, which happens to be the support line on our daily time frame. Remember, we identified the structure on the daily time frame, which happens to be the support line of that huge flat channel we saw. And at this point, this level will be one of my key level for the week. So I have the $70 area, and I also have the $72 level, which would also be serving as a major determinant of price action this week. So what I will be doing here is to see how participants in this market will be reacting to the $72 area at the beginning of the week. So if we have a bearish gap, then we might likely be seeing a sell-off in this market this week. So it will happen that we have this whole situation where price could still drop below the $70 area, drop below the $67.50 level to incite a sell-off in this market. So if continued selling pressure comes in around the $72 area, we might likely be seeing a sell-off in this market. However, there is one interesting thing about this whole structure, which like I said earlier, that strong job growth in the US economy is often seen as a plus for the oil, and consumption depends on people's movements and activities. We might likely see price soar to the upside. And if you look at this structure closely, following the impulsive move that started last week's trading session, we saw this move all the way to the downside. And one important thing here is that as soon as price got into that $67.50 area, we saw this old choppy situation, which looks more like a reversal pattern in the form of a double bottom structure. And with the neckline of the reversal pattern broken on Friday, which also shares a beautiful confluence with the support line we identified on the daily time frame, and at the same time it is a level that is serving as our key level for the week. Could this turn out to be a reversal pattern to incite a bullish momentum in this market? So we are going to be looking forward to this one too as well. So if price action comes back to retest the structure, which also lines up with our trend line there, and buy pressure resumes, then we might want to get ready to join a bullish momentum where a breakout of the $72 area will also have broken out of the resistant line of that descending channel to give us more opportunities to add more position to our existing trade. So these are the things I'm going to be looking forward to this week. So I hope that we'll be on standby to catch these moves, but be rest assured that I will be with you right in the comment section of this video to give you an update after monitoring how participants in this market will be reacting to this current structure during the early hours of the new week. I do hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the US oil commodity for this week, and if it did, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry, so I have the spelling just at the top right hand side of your screen right here, so that you can be part of the daily commentaries I normally share in the comment section of all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the comment section on Monday morning as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye-bye.